Yes, welcome to another episode of this exciting show called Sporting and Out. And don't forget, if you have not subscribed, you are wrong. Please do subscribe, like, and share our videos. So, thank you guys for watching. This is our EPL episode on Sporting and Out. So, today we'll be talking about the EPL, the previous fixtures, the next fixtures, the table, how your teams are actually doing on the table. We see Arsenal actually drawing a game and losing 2 points, a chance to extend the lead. But are they still at the top? We'll be telling you that. What do you think about the EPL this season and this match? Yeah, for me, the EPL this season has been exciting. Yes, we've seen a couple of losses from some teams. Liverpool not being the Liverpool of last season, who actually won the league, and this season they've been up and down. They've been winning some games, losing some certain games, losing against Manchester City, where they were meant to actually use that to pick up more points to actually go ahead on the table. And right now, Manchester United are actually above them on goal difference. They are actually on the same point, but on goal difference tally, they are Manchester United are ahead, number seven, then number eight. I think the Premier League this season has actually it has actually showed more light on the fact that Sunderland is actually a good side coming to the EPL from the Championship. They've been doing a lot. They've not lost except the game to Manchester United. What do you think about the Yes, EPL? That actually just shows that the championship is not just a lower side like how people think. Some people think that because of a team was playing in the championship, forgetting that the team did work a lot of work to actually get promoted from the championship to the Premier League, and actually showing that they are actually two sides that can actually stay at the top. So I can actually commend Sunderland for what they are doing this season because it's not really easy for a side. With the last time we saw this kind of thing happen was Leicester City coming to the league and actually winning it. But I don't think Sunderland can actually win this particular season. But I think they're actually showing, applying pressure in all what they are doing. We're seeing them win games, draw games. They've not really lost any game. They've not lost any game. The only game they've lost this particular season is the game against Manchester United, like you mentioned. So we can actually say that they are actually a top side because only a top side actually could defeat them. They defeated Chelsea this season. Yeah, given the fact that they lost Joe Bellingham, who actually went to Dortmund, and people will be thinking that, oh, okay, maybe it might be the chosen one for that team, and they are actually doing well, better without Joe Bellingham, and we see them being among the top teams in the EPL this season. I wanted to ask a question: is it due to the rush of the season, or Sunderland is a better side? Do you think towards the half end of the season they will definitely hear it? Yes, this is 11 games on. I can't really say if this is just an initial something because they are actually topping Manchester United on points in the Premier League. So we can actually say that I don't. For me, I don't think it's a fluke. I think they are a side that can actually stay consistent. They want to just stay in the league past this season. They don't want to just come and go as they want a new team that has been an identified team for the EPL to actually go back to relegation, just like the likes of Wolves that will actually might actually be going back this particular season. So I can actually say that for Sunderland, I think I'm just happy for them coming from the championship and showing that championship does not mean that you are a lower class. It just means you just gain promotion into the top side. Yes. And they're actually showing that. We'll be talking about the league fixtures, that's the previous fixtures and the results. So we're telling you what each team played. The game started on Saturday on the 8th, and that game was it started with Manchester United versus Tottenham. Tottenham were at home versus Manchester United, and that game ended 2-2, knowing the fact that Manchester United has not won against Tottenham in the last 5 games. So we can actually say that Manchester United, that draw, let's quickly talk about this. Was that draw like a win for Manchester United? Since if we check the previous fixtures, they've not really won. For me, from a fan perspective, I would say it wasn't a win because we saw Manchester United were leading up to the 88 minutes where Tottenham actually scored. They equalized, then they took the lead after taking the lead. Delete.
actually had
An
to
equalizer
an
for
equalizer for Manchester United. It was
9 minutes.
a 9 minute header. It was a very, very, very terrible
Yeah.
wait for Manchester United fans. We're actually waiting, praying for Manchester United to get that one goal back into the net. I think Manchester United players are actually playing to play in the narrative that a draw should actually be something that Manchester United fans should be happy with, and I don't think that's actually the case. At least 3 points can actually it can actually help you to get to the top of the table. I was thinking that Manchester United will win this game, then we'll actually move top to probably the number three position on the table. So it was very annoying seeing Tottenham actually equalized and even taking the lead, wanting Manchester United to lose that game.
Yes, for me, I actually described it on radio as a roller coaster of emotions for Manchester United fans. So we can actually say that they actually kept their fans to actually say this is they were happy moments, there were sad moments, there were moments where you'd be like, wow, what's really going on? When Richarlison scored and he removed his jersey and it was like they had already won the
Yeah.
match, and the Leeds actually just got a special pass from Bruno Fernandes, and that actually got into the net. What if it was not at the right place at the right time in that particular game?
What do
What
you
would have happened for
what do
Manchester
you
United?
that's the case. What do you think about Bruno Fernandes? In 4 games, he has 3 assists. What do you think about that special player? We saw him do it last season. He's doing it. He's replicating it this season. He's showing that captain,
Yeah.
that captain ability that he can always be there for Manchester United. Why do you think it's always Bruno Fernandes?
Like you mentioned three assists in these last 4 games. So you can actually say that he has not really been good this season because we've played 11 games and he has just been special in just four. So we can actually just say that I don't. For me, I'm not going to hype him for now because we saw what he did from the beginning of the season up until the time he started getting these assists because he had nothing. If you check the list of assists that he has, it's just those three that he has
And
on the list because he's on the higher part of the
highest
conversation of the
assist.
highest assist. He has three. The highest has four. That's Grealish. But we cannot actually praise him now because it's just in 4 games that he has been consistent.
Yeah, for me, Bruno Fernandes is a great player, but I won't say that he's playing up to the standard of
What we
football
want,
that
yes,
he has been playing before.
because
But him having 3 assists in 3 games, it's just a lot for
yeah,
him. And we're seeing Manchester United actually, those assists is actually helping Manchester United actually get the equalizer or actually get a win for Manchester United.
because I remember this same season was the season that Bruno Fernandes missed the penalty,
Yeah,
and
he
of
has
course
missed like 2 penalties
yeah,
this.
it cost Manchester United the game. Missed another penalty. So we can actually say that he has not really been performing very well. So if it's that he performed very, very well, we will not be defeated by Grisby or even get into the penalty shootout with a team like Grisby in the EFL where they knocked us out. So I'm going to be talking about the other matches. We will not be dwelling on some matches, but on the others, we'll be dwelling on them. So Everton versus Fulham. That game ended 2-0 in favor of Everton. The side that Manchester United will be facing next. West Ham versus Burnley. That game ended 3 goals to 2. That was a very tense game. West Ham took that win in that particular game. Then we'll be talking about this game now. That's the game between Sunderland versus Arsenal. That game ended 2-2. Arsenal conceding their first goal in the last. And they've kept a clean sheet in 7 games. That's they just considered in the last 7 games. That what do you think about the Arsenal side? What went wrong in their defense?
I don't know what's always go wrong in Arsenal. We've seen them being the best defense of the season so far, but I think that game was just unfortunate for them. I'm just happy for Bukayo Saka actually registering his name in the list of goal
Yeah,
scorers. Bukayo Saka, one good player for Arsenal, but I have a question. I always say this that if Arsenal keep playing like this and they keep drawing some certain games, that draw can actually affect them towards the end of the season because there's one question: when it reaches the middle of the season, can Arsenal take the hit? That's the question. That's the
yeah.
golden question. Can Arsenal take that hit? And them actually losing out in their defense towards the end of the game it was actually a very poor decision from their defenders. But I think they are very good at the attacking side. At least they got 2 goals, and they actually returned 2 goals back to
Yeah.
them. So I would just say it was a 50-50 game for both teams. I will know Sunderland is not a poor side as well. It's not is not this season they've been good. This is they've played the type of football Leicester City played when they came back to the EPL and they won the EPL. They are playing that style of football, and I think if Sunderland keeps playing like this, they will definitely finish at the top of the table before the end of the season.
Yes, for me, Sunderland not his bad side. We already mentioned them in at the beginning of this episode, saying that they are not a side that you can actually just shift or
Yeah.
push around. So we can actually say that Sunderland are a side that's constant, can stand toe to toe with Arsenal because they defeated Chelsea. We can actually mention that Manchester United is the only team this season to actually defeat them this season. So we can actually say that they are actually now presently a top side. I wanted to go back to the Manchester United game where we saw that Manchester United played with 10 men just because the coach actually used all the
Also,
subs.
yeah, that's a very poor decision from the referee and from the coach. And there's a rule whereby if it's not an head injury, they will not give you
Yeah.
that last substitution. I think Amorim was not meant to give all his substitutions, put all 5 substitutions before
Yeah.
the end of the game. At least I think it's a learning process for him. He has learned that he learned it the hard way, but I think his players are always focused to actually help at least the team get that 1 point
Because
that they need.
I know it was that the extra man that Tottenham had that they used to get the second
Second
goal.
goal.
They got the first goal while 11 players were still on the pitch, but the second goal they got it when Manchester United were down to 10.
What do you think about Sesko? Because since the integration of Sesko, he has scored just 1 goal.
Yeah.
He was the most valued player for Manchester United this transfer window, and he's even part of the. He was part of the conversation before he came to Manchester United. We saw the news whereby his club were not going to be leaving him. Sesko is coming to Manchester United. Will he come? Will he not come? Now he's in Manchester United.
Yeah.
He's performing poorly. The same way I would say Alejandro Garnacho is performing at Chelsea. That's the same way Sesko is performing at Manchester United.
Yeah.
What do you think is the problem?
Yeah, it is important to mention that we wanted Isaac. We wanted so many other players, but we couldn't get them. And we settled for Sesko. Sesko is a player that we've not really seen his impact. We saw him in Leipzig where he came from to Manchester United, but it's not. Is Leipzig a team that you normally watch for players to come to a club and you're now bidding him for 80 million? I think Manchester United, we already know that Manchester United is a team that overpays
Yeah.
players for what
We
they
saw
and
what we did for Andy Onana,
yes,
the likes.
yes, for Zegzi and all these other players, them using the force to actually get them and them not performing. The only player and is actually the least of the signings this season is Brian Mbomo. I don't know whether it's because he's an African player. That's why he actually cost that less, and he's actually the star boy of the Manchester United squad. So we can actually say that. Let's just move on to other news. Chelsea defeated Wolves on Saturday as well. That game ended 3 goals
That was a sure
to
banker.
0. A sure game for Chelsea.
Sure game.
A sure win for Chelsea as well. Then we're moving on. We're moving on to the Sunday's games. That's 9th of November. Crystal Palace played a goalless draw with Brighton. That game ended 0-0. Aston Villa defeated Bournemouth. Aston Villa that have not really been playing so well this season actually got 4 goals in that particular game. They defeated Bournemouth 4 goals to 0. Bournemouth that whenever they see some opponents, they always show themselves. But this particular game, they couldn't. Brentford defeated Newcastle. Newcastle had the red card in that game. That game ended 3 goals to 1. Nottingham Forest defeated Leeds. That game ended 3-1. And the match of the week, that is the game we're going to be talking about right now. It is the game between Manchester City versus Liverpool. Erling Haaland got a goal in that particular game. That game ended 3 goals to 0 in favor of Manchester City. What do you think about the game? Because I was not expecting that kind of scoreline.
Yeah, I was not expecting the goal for 3-0,
Scoreline, yeah.
and it was actually a devastating match for Liverpool. I thought them defeating
Real
Real
Madrid.
Madrid during the
It
week
will give them the
will give them
motivation.
that morale booster to actually defeat Manchester City. But I saw that Manchester City are a class of they have a class of players on their own,
Yeah.
and we know, yes, Pep Guardiola is one coach that you should actually look into. He played his one that was his 1,000th
Yes.
um,
Career match
career match,
for
and it was
City.
actually a very it's not just for City, for like as a coach
Yes.
for Barcelona, for Manchester City, and all the clubs that he has actually coached. That was the 1,000 goal match, and the players actually celebrated it well for him. They did him they gave him a very good 1,000 games gift, and that winning the game 3 goals to 0, not even allowing the opposing team to even get a goal in that game. It was
Yeah.
actually a devastating game for Liverpool.
Yes, I think it was a bad game for Liverpool. Liverpool has lost a lot of games. They've been doing bonanza for teams. Even Manchester United defeated Liverpool this season. But we can actually say that that is not really to dwell on. The question I have to ask is, should Arsenal be worried? Because we know what Manchester City can
Yeah, that's the golden question. Arsenal should be worried because, like I said earlier, towards the middle of the season, can Arsenal hold the heat? Because we know Manchester City has started roughly last season as well. They finished third on the table, and we know Manchester City to be a team that can actually start well and finish well. Last season, they almost did not do it because they were almost at they were losing a lot of games, but they still finished in the top three position. And I think Pep Guardiola has one history that he has not finished less than the top three position in the EPL since since the time he came, where he finished fourth. Then from then he started first, second, third, first, second, third. So that's it for Pep Guardiola, and Arsenal should actually be worried because Haaland, Haaland, 14 goals this season. Haaland has been that special player for Manchester City. And I think a determining match will be the second leg of Arsenal versus Manchester City. And that game will determine the league this season because we know Manchester City might not lose the rest of their games. And Arsenal might be Arsenal. Last 2 seasons, last 3 seasons, Arsenal were top of the table for a long time, then dropped to second.
Yes, for me, I would like to talk about Manchester United already playing almost all their big games. Manchester United has played a lot of games. We played Chelsea, we played City, we played Liverpool, and just this is just
Played
11.
Arsenal as
We
well.
played Arsenal in just 11 games. I think this is the worst. This is the most choked run of Manchester United this season, playing almost all the big teams at the beginning of the season. And even now, we can actually call Sunderland a big team because they are actually in the top 10 conversation of
We
the
played
this
against
season.
Brighton, played against
Played
Tottenham
against
Hotspur.
almost Tottenham, almost all the big sides. I think now that Manchester United has done that, we can actually rest and take up this rack up these points from the smaller sides, from the teams where we expect Manchester United to actually pick up points. Let's just hope if Ruben Amorim can actually just stay, put his head in the game.
Yeah, for now, Manchester United just take things one step at a time. They've been trying to do it, and I saw we saw an interview with Cristiano Ronaldo. He said the team is actually performing poorly, but it's not the management or the coach that you will blame. That I think there are other problems,
Factors,
that
yes,
factors that can actually lead to Manchester United not being that
the best
prolific
Manchester, yes,
football team as it was before.
yeah,
And I think Manchester United management actually came out to say that Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't wrong. That it is not that the team is bad. It's just that there are some one or two things that can actually lead to it.
yeah.
And right now we're giving you the table for the EPL after 11
Everyone matches,
matches.
yes.
So Arsenal top of the table with 26 points. Um, Manchester City second on the table, 22 points. Chelsea third on the table, 20 points. Sunderland fourth on the table with 19 points. And let's go to the teams with 18 points. That's Tottenham Hotspur They've played 11 games as well with 18 points, and they are fifth on the log. Aston Villa sixth on the log, 18 points. Manchester United seventh on the log with 18 points. Bournemouth, Liverpool eighth on the log with 18 points. Bournemouth ninth on the log with 18 points. Crystal Palace 10th on the log with 17 points. They will now go to the bottom half. That's Brighton 16 points, 11th on the log. Brentford 12th on the log, 16 points. Everton 15 points, they are 13th on the log. Newcastle are 14th on the log, they are on 12 points. Fulham 11 points, 15th on the log. Leeds United 16th on the log, they are on 11 points. Burnley are 17th on the log with 10 points. Then we'll go
Relegation
to the
zone.
relegation teams. That's West Ham United with 10 points, down 18th. Nottingham Forest, who were actually playing prolific football last season, they're on 9 points and they're on 19th on the log. Then Wolves are on 2 points and they are last and 20, there's 20th on the log. Is there any surprise this
Yeah.
season?
Yeah, for this match week, I don't think there's any surprise. The only thing I just want to put to people the hearing is that Manchester United are just 2 points away from number two position on the log in the Premier League, and we're just how many points? 8 points away from Arsenal. So people should not look at Manchester United as way far back. This is not last season where Manchester United were like 15, 20 points deep into the league. And so now we can actually say that just it's easy if we can rack up a lot of points during the December, the November, the after the international break till January. If we can get a lot of points from those games, Manchester United can even be in the conversation of top four.
Yeah, I think one thing Manchester United needs to do is the only problem Manchester United might have is during the AFCON, where
Yeah.
Brian Mbumo will have to leave
Leave
the
Anamad.
team and Hamad Diallo will have to leave the team to go to their national teams. I think the EPL needs, we have been clamoring for this, the EPL needs to actually look
Have
into the
breaks.
Africa
Yeah.
League. They need to have breaks at least so that African players can be able to play the AFCON and play it very because Brian Mbumo is one very good
Important
player,
player for
important player for Manchester
Cameroon.
United
Yes, and
and for
Manchester United.
Cameroon, and he will definitely go to the AFCON. And him actually thinking of Manchester United, he will not be focused on his national team. I think the EPL needs to look into this and take into consideration
Yeah.
Africa is actually playing the AFCON.
Yeah.
Also, now we'll be giving you the next fixtures, and it will be starting on Saturday, 22nd of November, 2025. And Burnley will be taking on Chelsea, and the next game will be Liverpool will be taking on Nottingham Forest. Bournemouth will be taking on West Ham United. Wolves will be taking on Crystal Palace. Brighton will be taking on Brentford on same Saturday. Then on Saturday as well, Fulham will be taking on Sunderland. Newcastle will be taking on Manchester City. I think that's a match of the week matchup because no, Newcastle is not a small side, and Manchester City as well. They are second on the log.
Yeah.
They want to actually move to the first position. Arsenal will be taking on Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur that drew
Against
Manchester
Manchester United.
United.
Yeah.
I want to see what will happen against because Mohamed Kudus versus Ebele Chieze. Let's go and see what's going to happen against in that derby. Then on on Monday, that's the 24th of November 2025, Manchester United will be taking on Everton.
Yeah.
What do you think about that game in particular?
Yes, the Man U side versus the Everton side. Everton have been good this season. They've been trying. They are not on the first top 10 of the Premier League table, but we saw what they did at the first 5 or 6 games this
Yeah,
season, where we saw Jack Grealish racking up 4 assists, and then since then we've not really seen him again. He even won the Player of the Month for
that's
the
yes.
first Player of the Month this season. That's in August. It was the Player of the Month in August, and that time the Yoruba will say one tunnel, they were actually shining, and but now we don't really see them again. So I think Manchester United actually stands a chance, a huge chance to actually get that particular win.
Before we end the show today, we are talking about Manchester United having a double award in the Player of the Month of October. That's
Yeah, the award is
the award.
yeah,
That's Brian Mbumu won the Player of the Month. Then the coach of the month was Manchester United's coach, that's Ruben Amorim. What do you think about that dynamics? Having two players from one team, that's Manchester United, that people have been saying have not been playing very well this season from last season,
yeah.
and them winning those two awards.
Yes, I think even the seasons where Manchester United does not even perform, I think we have actually have a way of getting into the conversation of best coach and best player. It has been done before where Bruno Fernandes, Garnacho, and our coach Eric Ten Hag at that time won 3 awards.
Yeah.
That's they won the only thing we didn't win that particular time was is the save, and we saw Onana actually won it the next month.
Yes.
So we can actually say that this is something. This is a culture for Manchester United to always register a player and a coach in the best player. But regardless of that, those were the two special best. He had for Manchester United
Three
played
wins.
three matches in the month of October. Had 3 wins in all. Didn't even draw a game. And we can actually say that that was actually a special month for Manchester United. This month has not really been good because we've had 2 draws. So we can actually say that month, that last month was the best month for Manchester United fans. And we can actually say for Brian Mbumu scoring 3 goals, 4 goals and assisting one, special player for Manchester United.
Yeah,
One of the best.
Yeah, for me, one of the best. Brian Mbumu showed that star quality.
Yeah.
Because we also had this conversation that it was going to be the best signing of the season so far. But he's just trying to be that player because the last game we saw what he did.
Yeah.
To actually get Manchester United ahead in the game before the equalizer got in. Brian Mbumo has been that special player for Manchester United. He won the Player of the Month for Manchester United and also won it for the Premier League. Ruben Amorim, special coach.
Yeah.
I think he's the chosen one for Manchester United so far. He has been doing his part, although he has been making some wrong decisions that were here and there. But I think last month, that October, 3 wins, very good performance from Manchester United.
To mention for Brian Mbomo being the best player for Manchester United, it wasn't just a one-time thing. It was a back-to-back thing. He was the best player for September and also for October. So we can actually say very special player. Best signing. If anyone wants to argue, just try to argue with facts, because this man has shown that he's actually the best signing of the summer for the Premier League. So that's where we'll be drawing our curtains. That's what we'll be saying in this particular video. So don't forget, you can actually bet on 1xBet using our promo code Sporting Announce, SPORTINANDOET, Sporting Announce, and get up to 300% bonus while using that promo code. So just go to the website www.1xbet.com. Just click on register and use the promo code simple as ABC, and you actually get up to 300% bonus while using that promo code. Don't forget, this is 18 plus, and if you are not 18, please don't bet and bet responsibly. Thank you guys for watching today's episode. Please like, share, and subscribe.